Help Remedies is a line of healthcare products that tries to make healthcare simpler and more approachable for people, tries to change the tone in medicine. And in its most simple form, it takes the form of products, which are these types of things. This is Help I Have a Headache. And obviously it states what the problem is as clearly and simply as it can be. And then the actual products themselves, what we do is we make use whatever the best ingredient for that condition is, and we use it in its simplest form. So this is acetaminophen in a very concentrated form. It's high dose, but we don't need to make it extra strength and all those kind of crazy things on the label. We just say, help I have a headache, and here's what works for you. There's two sides to Help, and I should point out there's another side, which is Nathan, my partner. And my part of Help is the part that says there is, the way that we think about medicine is wrong, and that there are many things that are fantastic and really effective and great, but they're not brand new, but we should celebrate those and make those approachable and interesting to people. And that's my side of Help. And then Nathan is a different side of Help, and Nathan represents the view that healthcare is frightening and has a terrible tone and talks to people like doctors talk to patients in a sort of not very respectful way. And what we should try and do is change the tone and make it friendly and likable and something that you want to spend time with. And his example is always, when you're sick, the last person you want to come over is a doctor who's going to give you a lot of warnings. You want your mum, and you want chicken soup. And that he represents the part of Help that is about making the tone itself more pleasant and likable. And I think we're sort of a fusion of those two viewpoints, and we argue about it. If Help were started just by me, it would have been called Simple Healthcare or something, and it would have been a disaster. And if it had been done by him, there would be no medicine. It would just be like placebo, and it would. So you need both sides of the brand there. This is a category that's very, very serious, and when you close your eyes and think about an over-the-counter healthcare brand, you're like, there's a doctor and he's telling me that this is good for this kind of pain, and he gives me some warnings, and that's sort of what your mental image of this category is. And Nathan wanted to make sure that everything doesn't feel that way, and the website being a sort of great part of that. I think Nathan's talent is never trying to be funny. I maybe shouldn't say this, but I think that if you read the way that Help is written, it doesn't sound like somebody who speaks English as their first language writes it. I always think, and I think Nathan sort of imagines a Swiss gay person writing, and like very well educated, like a person who speaks English almost perfectly as a second language. But sometimes just words are out of place, and it adds like an interesting sort of tone to the way that things happen. There's a lot of copy in this world and I love Innocent, that is like Innocent, that is like friendly, matey, like good one, mate. Here's the funny stuff that I did. It's very, very English. And I think Nathan does a great job of making Help a little weird. I just love the line on our ethics page about whether God exists. Here are the things we're trying to do to get into heaven. We're not sure if there is a heaven, but it would be great if there are, because then we don't face eternal blackness, which is like Nathan's worldview in a soundbite, but is written in this great sort of strange way. It's not too jokey. It's somewhat serious about it's got a little bit of seriousness about dying in there. Which I love, and I think he tries to bring that sort of oddness all the way through the brand, and frankly any tone would be better than what exists now, and I'm just really pleased that I think it's even within the context of all the tones and voices that exist in the world of companies, I think it's a fun, interesting one.